We begin in Nigeria, where the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has asked on Sunday that President Muhammadu Buhari should arrest politicians buying permanent voters' cards, otherwise known as PVCs, from poor voters. SERAP's Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, says the group wants the President to urgently direct the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, and appropriate anti-corruption agencies to bring them to justice.
They also want President Buhari to ensure that the politicians and their sponsors who are suspected to be involved in the act are named and shamed, regardless of their political affiliations. Recently, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) alleged that some politicians are buying PVCs.
Now, they have, of course, given and asked in the letter, which was dated 17th of September, that the recommended measures be taken within 7 days. One question is, how exactly is this going to happen? We understand that what is being done here, the right to vote and be voted for, is an important right as enshrined in the Constitution. And if truly politicians are buying PVCs, you're taking away that right from voters. But of what effect is this? I mean, I applaud SERAP for constantly the one civil organization that is holding the government to the jugular, but how much influence or how much impact will this letter really have?
Well, not much, because if you've looked at, some of the other either court charges or whatnot that SERAP, SERAP has sued the Nigerian government at least 900 times in the last long while. Which a lot of times, you might get a court ruling that is in their favor, but it's of almost no effect, generally. But I think I also want to talk about, or I would rather talk about the part where politicians are buying PVCs. And I remember a couple of weeks ago, I spoke about how we need to continue to fine-tune our leadership recruitment process. We need to continue to fine-tune the process with which people go to the ballot box every 4 years to choose their leaders. INEC as a body needs to do a whole lot better. The confidence that Nigerians have on INEC as a body has not in any way gotten to a level where they should be fully bold enough to run elections every 4 years, because there's still a lot of doubt on the credibility and the capacity to run free and fair elections. Politicians buying PVCs and some of all those things will always happen in a situation where there are no checks and balances, where politicians know that they can buy these things and they know that they can use these bought PVCs to, of course, vote, because the system has not gotten to that stage where you will be caught or you will be, found out, that this is not your PVC. I don't know what the process is like, because if you buy a PVC, who do you give it to vote? I have no idea. There's also the influence of poverty that still has not gotten away. And when you hear major political parties in Nigeria brag about their voting numbers and the expected vote, and they tell you that we have 10 million in this region and we have 5 million in this region, a lot of times, and I will say it anywhere and I will say it loud, stand on any mountain in Nigeria and say it, that these numbers that they brag about aren't informed, aren't people that they've helped, aren't people that believe in them, aren't people that trust in them. They are people that they know that they can either bribe into voting for them or are not educated enough to be able to make a proper decision with voting. So when they brag with 11 million votes, it is not 11 million informed voters, it's 11 million people that they believe they would continue to deceive into voting.
The angle that I really, wanted to highlight as well is that this is just a reflection of what the society is, and the fact that we have a poverty problem. We're not talking about it as much.
Absolutely.
We actually have a poverty problem. Looking at the fact that we're currently battling an inflation. So, of course, people who had already been struggling before, even now things are worse. Yesterday, somewhere on the island, a government official was about to drive out of a function. I just noticed there was this crowd of young men, young, uneducated in that sense, men, and they gathered. And I knew that it was a politician that was coming out. And as soon as the person came, they started to chant the person's political party mantra, running after the person's vehicle. The person eventually handed over words of cash to them. And then I saw them running after each other, trying to, it's just a reminder of what is. But
poverty is a weapon.
It is a weapon, absolutely.